Last year put me in my witches era with Wicked, Agatha All Along, and this amazing song.
Go down, down, down the road, down the witch's road.
But thanks to Nocturne and this film, I have comfortably witnessed my vampire era. Welcome to my channel. My name is Joseph and I'm a film fanatic. See, me know that this movie would have been my #1 pick for top 10 movies of 2024. It was even watching this movie that delayed that video, and right now, this film is one of my favorite movies of all time, Nosferatu. There will be spoilers, but I'll try my best to keep it minimal. Nosferatu is a 2024 horror movie that is a remake of a 1922 movie. It follows a newlywed young couple. The man is an accountant and has recently been employed by a reclusive aristocrat who turns out to be a powerful vampire. Blah, blah, blah. Who also has a strong attraction for the accountant's wife. As a Scorpio, this movie satisfied something in my soul. Robert Eggers is honestly so close to bouncing David Fincher as my favorite director. The man clearly understands his craft, and honestly I'm just in love with his mind. I have told you before and I will tell you again. I love a Gothic Victorian setting. The atmosphere is always so haunting and alluring at the same time. They really worked to carry all the essential aspects from the classic and reimagine it for a modern audience in a way that didn't lose its special spark and still made a lot of the classic horror tropes very refreshing. With the fact that I already knew the story, I wanted to watch this movie and figure out at what point the guy could have actually dodged all this problem. It's here. If he didn't make it here, he could have gone back peacefully. But even at that, if I was in the carriage and saw that this is where we are going, I would have been like, but he reached that village, saw everything he saw and still didn't run. Okay. The costumes were just too good. I love how all out they went on this girl. Talk less of Nosferatu himself. A lot of effort went into making that guy what he is, and the impact was felt. His voice, his presence, his accent. This is a very good, unique depiction of a vampire. You really feel what it's like when they say you are in the same room with a vampire.
When devil's magic bids the wolf to speak with tongues of men, and every nightmare treads upon this earth.
That wheeze sucks the air out of everything. What I really love about the writing in this story is how they focused on the whys of a lot of the original story elements. Why is Nosferatu attracted to her? Why is she crazy? Because that woman they meant. Why did her husband have to go through that long and stressful journey? Because honestly, all these things gave the story a whole lot more depth. This is by far the best version of Spirit Husband I have ever seen. The tone is grim and serious right from the start, giving us one of the most disturbing versions of possession we have ever seen. A very sexual one. Yeah, this movie is definitely not for the prudish. But on behalf of the big forehead community, I want to personally thank Lily-Rose Depp for all of her contributions to the cause. If this film goes down as her best performance ever, she has every right to be proud. She had a lot of haters going in, but she came out and she conquered. However, the stars of the show, Bill Skarsgård and Nicholas Hoult, the men that you are. This is the movie that made me realize that these are actually two actors that work very well with makeup. If you've read any horror novel, Edgar Allan Poe or Lovecraft, you will know how apt this shot is, and may God bless the person that kept it inside this film. I love the chemistry Ellen had with the two men, and they had chemistry. For a lady that is afraid that a vampire is coming to get her, you would think that she would cover her neck a little bit more. I also loved Aaron Taylor Johnson and Emma Corrin's character. I love when there's always like a science guy in all these kind of paranormal stories. As much as mysticism is possible, I once heard someone say magic is basically science we don't understand yet, and I have held on to that ever since. Yes, he's evil and that could be what is spreading the plague, but I genuinely don't think there is a world where a corpse that looks like this will be walking around and not be spreading all forms of diseases. And necrophilia was irritatingly common in those days. This love triangle was beautifully well done, and that means a lot coming from me because I don't believe there's actually anything like a perfect love triangle. In most cases, there are two people with a peaceful, maybe not healthy relationship, and one person that is trying to cause problem. She was the problem. He was the problem. The fact that you would think either of them were the problem at several points proves that she was the problem. He was obviously the problem. But here you can actually make a decent case for both sides of the triangle. I mean, Hunter married her in the legal, humane way, They clearly have a very, very deep and passionate bond, even though her own has a sprinkle of that irritating, patronizing, "It's good for me." And then she actually called out to Nosferatu. This was an open invitation. He answered, they consummated their union, and she even admitted to having an ungodly attraction to him. Honestly, you are not going to see a better horror romance than this. I think it's funny how they had to press it in our faces that this is the hero of the story. I don't really blame the filmmakers because misogyny is alive and well. Even after watching the classic, I'm always surprised that there are people out there that would argue she didn't do anything when she is literally the one that saves the day. Whether you like it or not, it is unconventional, but it is her purpose that saved the day. Hit that one. So, go and watch the film and come with your own opinion. This review would be incomplete if I did not praise Willem Dafoe. Every single second he spends on screen outclasses every person he's with. In conclusion, I give this movie a 9.5 because why not? I didn't feel the runtime. I didn't even want it to end. Honestly, it is sad that there are film fanatics out there that will only have this experience with Avengers Endgame. Nosferatu is the perfect Valentine's Day movie. Trust me. Blah, blah, blah. Please keep liking, keep subscribing, spread the word. Comment any movie or series you would love me to talk about, or even any topic you would like me to just address, because I have a very interesting idea for my next video. Don't worry, you'll see me soon. Yeah.